Okay, so for anybody who watched the Cowboys-Vikings game, they know the 4th and 3 play in the third quarter was the play that changed the entire game. Here, Donovan Wilson makes a nice tackle out on the edge on an end around, one of his best plays of the season to force the 4th and 3. So here you have 3 guys with their hands in the dirt before the snap. They're going to be your 3 pass rushers on this 4th and 3. James Houston, who might be your best pure pass rusher on the team, actually drops back in coverage. And the result is that J.J. McCarthy has about 16 business days to make this throw. The routes are actually covered at first, but Jalen turns, goes upfield. Ravel actually has decent coverage, but JJ, because he has all that time to throw, makes a really nice throw. They convert, go score a touchdown. The game kind of flipped from there in favor of the Vikings, and the Cowboys never came back. And this one play demonstrates the problem with both Eberflus and his scheme. Matt Eberflus doesn't need to be a 50% blitzer like Flores was against the Cowboys. I'm not asking for that at all. I don't think any of us are asking for that. All right. And I think that's a common misperception online, is that you can just blitz all the time and you're going to be better. Okay. That's not necessarily the case. But situationally, here's the situation the Cowboys were in, specifically on that 4th and 3, with their season basically on the line. You have a young quarterback in a dire situation on 4th down. Okay. He doesn't play with good mechanics. He's very sloppy. Okay, you have to put pressure on him. It's common sense. I mean, anybody with the brain would know the goal here, regardless of your scheme. Save me with the scheme. I know Flus likes to play a lot of shell coverages, keep the plays in front of him, go rally, make a tackle. He rushes with 4, but your 4 in his scheme better be good. They better be really, really good players, both the interior and the edges, because he's going to depend on you to get pressure. Okay, and if you don't, his scheme, just throw the whole thing out the window because it's garbage. But that's beside the point. In this situation, whether or not you're a blitz type personality or not, you have to send more than 3. And preferably you would send your best pass rushers, which would be James Houston. I personally would also have sent Overshown on a blitz. Okay, he's supposed to be unlocked this week. He's a speed demon. Okay, you saw on a 3rd down earlier in the second half, they sent Overshown on a blitz. He put just a smidge of pressure on McCarthy, and it was one of the few stops you got on the night. They actually had a punt because of that. And so if you watched any of my other videos, I actually just did an interview with my buddy. He's a Colts fan, and they had a lot of the same issues with Flus over there, where they rely so heavily on the front 7 to be really high-end players, because without them, he's not going to send any blitzes hardly ever. There's nothing schematically that challenges quarterbacks. They just drop back in a shell coverage, keep everything in front of them, rally, and make the tackle. It's a classic bend, don't break defense. And personally, I hate those defenses. I hate it. I would much rather have a Dan Quinn style defense where, yes, you're going to give up some stuff, but you're going to challenge these quarterbacks, challenge these receivers, make them earn every single yard. And when they earn it, that's phenomenal. Great for them. You're also going to force a bunch of turnovers. And I know the Cowboys don't necessarily have the types of players to do that right now. They also don't really have the types of players to be playing in Eberflus's scheme, where the down 4 linemen have to get a serious pass rush. Your linebackers have to be really good players. They just don't really have the personnel for that. So this season, I would have preferred a more aggressive approach where you live and die by the blitz and just try to force some turnovers. They didn't do that, but that's a broader conversation. This conversation about this game, it's just depressing to see situationally. He sent some blitzes. He sent 5 in the first half. 6 in the first half, 1 in the second half. Okay. Off the top of my head, 2 of those instances were highly successful. The one forced a 3rd down incompletion. Another one forced a turnover on a tip ball. And so they were successful. The quarterback had a 72 quarterback rating when blitz. He had a 126, I believe it was, when not blitzed. So the blitz was working. And again, you don't have to do it down after down, but you have to do it more than you did it in this game when you're facing a young, mistake-prone quarterback like J.J. McCarthy. And I'm sorry, if your scheme as a defensive coordinator prohibits you from sending guys to get after young, mistake-prone quarterbacks like J.J. McCarthy, you don't deserve to be a defensive coordinator in the NFL, or change schemes, do something different, because this is old, it's stale, and it's not conducive to winning football games. Anybody with a brain should know that you have to get after these guys. And if you can't get after them with 3 down linemen, with 4 down linemen, Go back to your 5-man front that you started the game with. Your first 3 drives, you had a bunch of 5-man fronts, and then you got away from it. Your defensive line has all the best players on your defense outside of maybe Overshown. Load up that defensive line, run more 5-man fronts. I mean, what are we doing here? And I know that Eberflus is the low-hanging fruit in all this, but he's the low-hanging fruit for a reason. If it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, yeah, it's a duck. He's the reason the Cowboys are losing games. His defense is the reason the Cowboys are losing games. All the players in the Cowboys who were previously regarded as good players or above average players all regressed this season. And it's not because they all of a sudden got worse. It's because they're not fits for this scheme. He hasn't done anything with this scheme to elevate anybody. Show me one player defensively that has been elevated this season. There's not. I don't think there's one. You can't point to one guy and say he's played better than previous years. Not a single person. You can point to basically everybody, though, and say they regressed. That's a problem, and that's on the defensive coordinator. So listen, I appreciate y'all watching this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you later.
Lorddylly, you know we ride. In every game we never hide. Dallas Cowboys, our pride, our fate. We'll dominate.